Good morning, Raven families. My name is Erica Jones, and I am one of the advisory teachers here in the Anchorage office. I just wanted to give everybody a quick walkthrough on how to do your quarter two progress reports. Those are due December 15th. If you have not done your quarter one progress report, please get that done as soon as you can. And if you've already been in touch with your advisory teacher about a late enrollment or delayed curriculum or family emergencies or whatever, um, of course, just talk to your advisory teacher. All right, so I'm going to walk you through how to do your quarter two progress report. For those of you that are new, and we have a lot of new families, or if you haven't done yours since October, you go to raven.brightwayslearning.com, and it's right up here on the screen, and you'll log in. If you need help with your username or password, please let your advisory teacher know, and we are here to help you. We can reset passwords and we can let you know what you chose for your username as well. All right, so I'm going to be using a tester family. We're going to use Fiona and Isaac. Now, theirs might look a little bit different than yours because these are our tester accounts, and it shows that they're already working on multiple progress reports, which I know we're only working on number two. So if you're on your parent dashboard, it should look something like this. You'll see family, parent, student, applications, computers, and logs. I don't know if you can see logs actually. But where you'll go is you'll click students, and then right here, it will, whichever is the last progress report that you turned in, it will say that. So for most of you, it will say quarter one progress report approved, or quarter one progress report incomplete, or quarter one progress report pending, depending on the status of your progress report. So you'll click right here. And then I had a lot of questions last year on how to get to to get to all of the progress reports. So if you come up here next to ILP approved progress reports, it will bring up all 4 quarters, which is really nice. And then you'll be able to scroll down and see your students' grades, that the grades that they've earned this year so far. So hopefully yours says approved. If it says incomplete or pending, please get your advisory teacher those work samples or summaries or grades as soon as you can, of course. All right, so we're going to look at this middle section right here. You guys haven't started quarter two yet, most of you. If your student already reached 50% in their Acellus classes, when I went and did your quarter one progress report for you for Acellus, I may have already put quarter two grades in. If your student is using AK Grad in high school, and AK Grad sent me their quarter two grade, I already put that in for you. So you might see quarter two pending, or if you haven't started, which most of you would, since most of you have not, you will actually click add grades. So there will be this approved blue button right here will actually say add grades. So if you've started, you'll click edit. If my computer's working. If you haven't started, you will click add grades. And then you will put in your student's grade for all of their subjects, what you grade, how you keep track of grading with homeschool is up to you. Some of our families use a digital gradebook. Some of our students' families use online grading. Some parents only grade tests because they help their student with the practice. Just depends on how you decided to do that. So you're going to put your student's quarter two overall grade in the grade. And then in the progress summary, we need some very important things. We need to know how many lessons your student completed. So we'll do a pretend one. Let's do a math one. In math this quarter, and it is Fiona. Fiona completed 6 chapters in math. She is 50% done with her math book, which is the goal, 50% of your curriculum by December 15th, give or take. And of course, there's always exceptions. Just be in touch with your host teacher, your advisory teacher. All right. Um, Fiona worked on multiplying fractions. We'll say she was rounding decimals. She was dividing fractions. She was, let's see, practicing. So we'll say she also mastered her multiplication, facts to 12, and worked on adding numbers to the millions. So you would just say whatever your students have been working on. And then we also need to know how often. So Fiona worked on math for 60 minutes. And you can go back and fix spelling at the end too. Minutes a day, 4 days a week. And then you can also put in here the curriculum. Fiona worked on her, we'll say she's using Saxon math. Fiona worked in her Saxon math 5-6 workbook. If your student did flashcards, if your student did Prodigy, if your student did Math Seeds or Acellus or a book from Costco or whatever curriculum your student used, that's what you can put in your summary. And then anything else you want to tell your host teacher or your advisory teacher, awesome. But we have to know the number of lessons. We have to know what they actually did, what skills, and then we have to know about how often, their schedule in there. And then any other cool projects, like maybe we'll say Fiona also worked on fractions while baking and cooking dinner 2 times a week. Maybe Fiona also completed 2 STEM projects about robots and coding. Anything that your student is doing, wonderful. And then same for PE. So in PE this quarter, Fiona played hockey 3 days a week for an hour at a time. She also did dryland 2 hours a week. Fiona worked on, like, what did she do? So Fiona worked on passing, skating, and shooting the puck. If your student plays any sports, if your student goes to the gym, if your student goes sledding, if your student walks the dog, if your student plays outside, bikes to school, or not bike to school, my kids bike to school, if you guys bike to dinner, any type of physical activity counts. Skiing is coming up, cross country skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, snow machining, any type of exercise. I have a lot of students who did the mighty bikes and baseball and all kinds of sports. I even have a student who does horseback riding and taekwondo. So any type of physical activity. I know the work sample for PE can be a little weird. It seems a little staged or posed. So you're welcome to submit a photo, of course, of your student exercising. But if you would rather send a quick video of them actually doing the exercise, even better. There is a max for the allowable size of the videos for your work samples. So just please email those to your teacher if they won't upload, if they're too big. And then we just make a note that says, so let's say for PE, and this happens all the time. So I'm going to say, Erica received Fiona's I could type today, that would be good. Fiona's hockey video. My hands are freezing, sorry. Hockey video, but it was too large to upload. And then I put the date. And then I keep them on my computer or in my email or in my text or in your family's file in case somebody ever asks to see it. I always keep a copy. And then down here, always click create progress report. If you don't, unfortunately, I've had many families lose their progress reports and have to start over. So make sure you click create progress report. And if you want, you can click create progress report after you do each subject. And then all you do to add more is just click edit. And then you're able to go right back in, which is awesome. And then down here where it says parent comments, this is where you can put anything else that you think is important for your students' future advisory teacher, or for you, or if your student's ever planning on going back to public school or transferring homeschools or going to private school, or you're moving out of state. This is where you can put any other information, like if your student has any strengths or weaknesses or goals. I do always read these, so be sure to put things in there if you would like. And then down here for teacher comments, this is where I will put comments like missing log, missing work sample, or if I'm helping you with your SLS progress reports or AK graduate progress reports, I'll actually put in there like student is not at 25% in history 1, and I'll put the date, and then I will say I will update progress report once 25% is reached. And then please be in contact with your advisory teacher once your student finishes 25, 50%, 75, and 100% of their classes, so that we can get everything updated as soon as we can. And then you'll click create progress report. And then the next thing you have to do is you have to upload work samples. You have to do one work sample per subject per quarter. You can do as many as you want. Some of my families, they do 8. Some of my families do 1. Some of my families do 5 in math, 2 for reading, 1 in PE, 6 for science, because they did some super cool science projects. Whatever works for you, but you have to do 1, and it does need to be proof that your student learned something. And then it also needs to be their best work, best handwriting, best grammar. It needs to show quality work, please. And then over here, you'll click upload. So for language arts, you'll click choose file. We'll just pretend it's the PE Healthy Future log. It does remind you of the file size limit. You'll click upload. And then you'll be able to actually see your student's work sample. And then you'll do 1 for math. You would do 1 for PE. You would do 1 for science. You will do 1 per subject per quarter. So I'm going to plug my computer in real quick. And some of my families also, like, they'll put in some of their workout logs and things like that in general. If I ever email you or message you and say, hey, I need your PE log, and it's not in that specific PE section, just let me know. And I have made that boo-boo a couple times, so I sometimes forget to look at general, but I'm working hard not to do that. And then when you're totally ready, your grades are done, your work samples are done. Don't forget, ignore this mastery thing. You can't even type in there. Work samples, summaries, and you're ready to go, and your students' grades, you'll click submit. And then be sure to let your advisory teacher know. We don't get an email. We don't get a ding. We don't get any notification that you're done. We do check often, obviously, for progress reports. But if you could let your advisory teacher know, that would be wonderful. And of course, if you need help logging into Brightways, uploading work samples, if you need more examples of quality written progress report summaries, if you forget where to go, just of course let your advisory teacher know. That's what we're here for. And I will talk to everybody soon. If you need anything, let your advisory teacher know. And we hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.